Hey up, welcome back to Versus. We're here again for some more Canadian Highlander. And Kieran's back. Hi Kieran.
Hello, hello there.
So we've got Jethro against Matt today. Jethro is playing an Abzan Delirium deck, which is a value pile. Pointed cards being really straightforward. It's just 3 Moxen. What about Matt's deck, Kieran?
So Matt is on Nadu Seeker Walk, which is basically Seeker Walk where you've just shoved Nadu in with Shuko and the other combo pieces, and the point spread is Time Walk for 6, Spell Seeker for 1, Natural Order 1, and Vampiric Tutor for 2.
Fantastic. Nadu making waves everywhere in
Yes.
Magic. And speaking of one bird, we have two more on the battlefield on turn one on both of our players' turns.
Yes. So the scary thing with the Nadu deck is it could just combo off on turn 3, especially if it goes with Mana Dork. You just go Mana Dork. Turn 2, bestow the Nantuko. Turn 3, turn 2, bestow Nantuko and play the Shuko. And then turn 3, play Nadu and win. So very scary deck.
Oh, those kinds of combos are crazy. Stoneforge Mystic.
Yep. Turns out Wizards forgot 0 mana abilities exist when they decided to change Nadu at the last minute for Commander players.
That's not the only mistake that was made there. Skull Clamp, not surprising that Skull Clamp's the fetch.
Yes.
This is the furnace, and Matt's just referred to the fact that now graveyard order matters. So this one,
Yes.
exile the bottom card of target player's graveyard. Fun.
Yeah, good old Magic there, having to worry about graveyard order. I'm glad it's not a thing anymore. It's
So
just an extra thing you'd
is that
have to
actually
track.
part of? Is it a part of the rules that you do have to keep it in order then? Generally.
In formats where where cards like this exist, you do. So there's none
okay.
modern going forward. But
Okay.
eternal formats like Legacy, Canlander, Commander, you should technically keep track of graveyard order.
But here's a just straight up powerful card. White
Yep.
Plume
So this,
Adventurer.
yes, White Plume Adventurer introducing the initiative straight away. Really good one. Gets to untap the birds as well during the upkeep, unless he misses the trigger. Might have missed the trigger there on the White Plume Adventurer.
Then I will cast removal spell. Eldamri Skull.
Yeah. We're still searching for a basic from the White Plume.
Yeah. So we got the basic. We've put the basic into play.
That's not how that works, right?
No. Should go into the hand.
I'm gonna find.
So yeah, that island needs putting into the hand when, let's hope that's noticed.
The Vogue one. Yep.
In the meantime,
White Plume. Yep.
we've got an Eladamri's Call from Jethro into a Shriekmaw
To
to destroy
get through.
the
And pass it back.
the initiative.
Yes.
You'll be green, I'll be blue. Sure.
So yeah, so Jethro winning the initiative. Going to search his own basic land now.
So attack with the pieces on hand. Yeah, sweet.
I think both players have just tried to play quite quickly at the start here, and they've missed a few things.
I think we probably, I think it's just a case of skipping a couple of wait searches, which I understand in Canadian Highlander you kind of got to do a little bit just to speed the game along. But
so yeah, here Matt's taking his turn whilst Jethro's still sort of searching for their basic lands. So yeah.
cycling a triome.
Okay.
There it is. The Schneid of some. Planes go.
So yeah, we found the German snow-covered forest.
But we do have one extra land in play here from Matt.
Yeah.
because
Yes.
the island stayed.
Yeah, it looks like the players didn't pick up on that. So yeah, so a bit of sloppy play at the start here. So this is probably why you should always just hold off. I know time can be a factor in Canlander. Everyone's searching their decks turn 1 and 2. But sometimes it's worth it just to wait and to make sure the game state is kept. We're back to Jethro. Jethro is now delving into the dungeon a little bit more. He's gone into the forge. He's put 2 counters onto the what's it called?
Stoneforge Mystic.
Stoneforge Mystic. And we're getting in with the Stoneforge Mystic.
That's not what I'm meant to be here for. Help you out with names of cards.
Yeah, true. I'm passing it back. I did notice there's a Solitude in hand, so that'll be what this 5 mana is being kept up for.
Ah, nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we know there's a Skull Clamp, so if I'm Matt, I'm wondering why this Skull Clamp hasn't been played. Right, so it looks like they might have just noticed the additional land drop.
Yeah, Jethro's just noticed that we have one too many lands in play.
So yeah.
I think the suggestion is that the planes came in this turn, which it didn't. The mistake was made much earlier. So it's going to take a while to figure out where this went wrong. But essentially Matt just needs to not play a land this turn. I don't think it actually makes any difference to the way that the game's been played up until this point. It's made, or it makes very little difference at least.
No, I did. Sorry, my brain is just like voided out that bit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any other changes, has there?
Matt was just saying that they hadn't seen the top card when they surveilled, but Jethro's corrected them and just said shuffle it up.
Yeah.
So it's all good. We'll find our way.
Yeah. So it looks like board state is now being corrected.
If you searched up
So yeah.
either an island or a forest, play the other one.
So we know Jethro's got a Skull Clamp in hand. We know Jethro's got Solitude in hand also.
I saw Bloodstained Mire as well.
Okay.
So yeah. So we're just rewinding now. So the planes has been returned to hand. So the last.
My brain automatically had the island in play rather than in hand. So then
Right. So yeah.
They're just trying to figure out what's gone wrong. But
So yeah.
there you go.
So yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So they've corrected it, reset it. The plane's basically been returned and replayed to sort of fix the issue.
We're good. I'm happy that we're happy now. Are you happy?
Yes.
Are you happy, Kieran?
Yes. The last card in hand, I can see it now, is a Fauna Shaman as well. So
Okay.
This is your own step.
here comes the Solitude we saw. Get rid of the birds. Feels great because
Let's go to my turn.
it should be an exile. So let's hope they notice that as well. But Solitude in a bird, you get no life from that start. That feels great.
Yeah, lovely.
Play first name mine. And go to combat. Yep. Type 6.
Here comes 6.
That's quite a lot of damage. You know, 20 life isn't that much when you don't have any creatures on the board
Yeah,
and
so I'm
your opponent's
guessing.
playing creatures.
Well, I think most of this has come from the initiative that was introduced by Matt, because that was 5 from the trap, an additional 4 damage now from the Stoneforge Mystic, so that's 9
True.
damage alone.
Trap's pretty silly. So are you suggesting that they did this to themselves by playing that white plume?
Potentially, it doesn't look like they had a fairly good follow-up for it. So, and Jethro's just
Sentinel
been
of
able
the
to
Nameless
fly.
City. Okay, that's yeah. I remember that one from Limited.
The bird's got solitude. Bird's got solitude. The man is gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've fixed it. We're good.
Yeah. Yes. And I think the pickup
Power, what am I saying? You didn't.
now was is
I
that
also gained 3 up to 21.
Demonic Tutor or is that a Bitter Triumph? Easy way to check. There is no Demonic Tutor in the deck, so I believe Jethro's last card that we've not seen is a Bitter Triumph.
So just removal spell.
Yeah, it's difficult to see though.
Nadu
Actually, really
Seeker.
struggling with that ad. Yeah, so as the sun comes down, we'll trigger, get the ability to tap for mana, tap for survival. Oof.
All looks a little bit too slow.
I'll crack my Maya.
Yeah.
Go to 20.
So I don't know what the plan here is. Pass the turn, unless there's a fog.
Wait for death.
Yeah. And we just got a glimpse of the hand. I saw a lot of lands in there, so it looks like it's very mana flooded.
Okay.
We know there's a Surveil land in there as well, which was bounced back, and
Shuffle up and surveil.
Yes.
Jethro's going to Surveil in the end step.
Fauna Shaman. Talk to me about Fauna Shaman. Because I played that a little bit in Commander back in the day. And
Yep.
even when I was playing, it felt pretty slow.
So, if you can see, the survival of the fittest is actually what the Fauna Shaman is replicating,
Surveil.
Right.
and survival being an enchantment, you can activate it straight away.
Yes, that's it.
Survival being ridiculously good on its own, Fauna Shaman being a slightly worse version is still good enough in some decks,
Okay. So it's quite a lot worse. It's delayed when you can use it, and it's removable.
and
Much
it's
more
only
easily.
once because you have to also tap the Fauna Shaman as well.
Yeah. It's a lot
Whereas
worse.
survival with enough green mana, you can just combo off on with its on its own and another creature.
And then sacrifice it, targeting Solitude.
We're replaying the Sentinel. I think I saw Jethro pick up another Mox as well, so he's going to have 2 of his Moxes available if he wants to,
Cast.
and an Urza Saga. So there's the Emerald.
Cast
There's the Urza Saga.
Put Skull Clamp on Stoneward Mystic. Go combat.
And I think we're just going to make sure that Matt is dead here.
Yep.
Looks like the last card Matt had was a Endurance to flash in,
Not the ideal.
potentially be able to block and survive, but unfortunately enough power spread between the 2 creatures to get the job done there.
Lovely.
So we'll go into game 2.
In any order you choose. Okay.
Yes, I like to draw lands and spells.
In any order that we choose, that would be a little bit.
I want to go land, 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 spell, 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 spell. And I want it to be 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop.
Okay. You're not allowed to choose like the mana value of each of the cards. That's a bit too far.
That's upsetting. So Jethro showing us his hand here, so I know most of the cards. I don't know that one in the middle, unfortunately. Let's have a look.
What was it, the
looks
green
like
one?
it
Was it a
No,
Beseju?
the black one, the Necron Death Marker card from a Warhammer set. I have no idea with those.
Okay. Not a clue.
Yeah. So we put an A for Violence play here on turn 1. So this is one of the ways the Seeker Walk gets around counter spells. As you don't actually cast a spell, you just put the creature into play. So as far as turn 1 goes, really good.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Jethro with a slow start, just playing his Triome. Probably the worst land to draw in any deck. You always want to be fetching it when you don't need the mana.
Yeah. Don't want to actually play that one.
Yeah. Like Matt did in the last game, if you draw it, you're more likely to cycle it away.
One to fetch for is great, but more than that gets diminishing returns. That is fair.
Matt asking how many spell lands Jethro's playing, and it's just the one.
Interesting. I'm a big believer that you should be maxing out on the surveillance up there.
Okay.
Really strong. I think they're almost better than the Triumph. I'd probably be on 3 surveillance before I play a Triumph.
Crack it. 19. Yep.
So we see Matt play their own Triumph, and then pass back to Jethro, who's going to Wooded Foothills. Oh, he's got one of the new cards from Bloomberg in his hand now. I've just seen it's Ruthless Negotiation. For 1 black, target opponent exiles a card from their hand. If this spell was cast from the graveyard, draw a card. It's got flashback for 4 and a black.
Oh, lovely. I like
and that
this.
is the one that's played.
Well, I mean,
I like
don't
this.
see the hand.
The value
Yes. And that's the thing we mentioned with Jethro's deck is almost every card is almost going to be a 2-for-1 in some way,
Good.
shape or form.
Is that Jethro's style, or is it just the deck? It seems like Jethro likes just
I
playing
think-
value engines.
I think it's Jethro's style.
Yeah, I love it.
I think if you can 2-for-1 your opponent, eventually, if you think you're the better player, you'll out advantage them and win.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good strategy in limited, that's for sure.
I like,
Yeah. So we see Aether Vial go up to 2 here. We play a Wall of Blossom, play a Scrublands,
yeah.
and I think Matt has a Ajani, the new one. Ajani Nakatal Pariah
The
in
one that
hand. So
comes with another cat, and when a cat dies, it turns into a planeswalker.
yes. So that is a very nice card to cheat into play. It's also a really good card for these Nadu decks because if Nadu combos off, you want as many creatures out as you can to target with Shuko.
Yeah, sweet.
And that's 2 mana for 2 bodies,
Partly because there have been times when you top deck Inquisition and
just like Orchestra Masters, which is also in the deck.
If we could have actual factual second thoughts, people.
Our players discussing the merit of Thoughtseize, Kozilek's Inquisition, all of the discard spells, and whether this one actually is a good one in Canadian Highlander, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suspect it's not one that's going to make it into many decks.
That's more general than this.
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of Jethro's early plays are his creatures self-mill. So, like I was saying, it's one of those cards where he can get multiple bits of value from it. You can play it at turn 1 to exile a card. If you hit it off the Maya Triton or the Sated Wayfinder in the deck,
Right.
it's not a dead card you've hit.
So it's
It's
like
a-
that you were saying about the triome. You want to cycle it once you got it in your hand. It's almost like that wants to make its way into a graveyard rather than you actually casting it from hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
If you hit it off a Surveil, that's great as well.
still my answer. I'm going to cast
So we're cheating the form of the Shaman into play. And that is going to get Fatal Push straight away because if that untaps, that is very
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, we said that Fauna Shaman was slow. It's not slow if it just gets flashed in on end step.
Yeah.
I will cast.
So we are putting the Aether File up to 3. Oh, is this going to be a Bowmasters? This is the
target the wall.
Living the
the
dream.
greatest feeling ever.
I'll target the wall when it enters and make an army, and then brainstorm resolve. Cool.
So yeah, I think Matt just preemptively putting the wall into the graveyard. I imagine after we've targeted it once, we will be targeting it 3 more times with Bowmasters. And we've just put 5 points of power into play off Matt's brainstorm there. So
Absolutely ridiculous.
So after brainstorm is resolved, I'll put these triggers on the stack, targeting one bottom. And then this gets bigger.
We're on the same page.
yeah.
Orcish
We do
Bowmasters are silly.
Yeah, we do have the perfect brainstorm here, though. We've got the brainstorm into the fetch.
He's carding around.
So hopefully these cards Matt have, they're not good enough to keep around, and they get to shuffle them away.
No, you might play opposition agents while fetch now.
Sure.
And yeah, we're going to fetch whilst Jethro's tapped out. So there's no opposition agent to.
Get a.
That's another awful feeling if you get Orcish Bowmaster the brainstorm and then opposition agent the fetch. That's rough. That is.
You've been right done in there.
I'm just going for the list. There isn't actually an opposition agent, so there's nothing to play around there. But still,
It's worth it.
So-
From Matt's point of view, it's worth it just to.
yeah. There have been times where I've managed to stifle someone because they've been like, it's not there. Then you get them, and then you feel great. So if you have the option to play around it with a fetch, it's always good. You don't want to pay a life and stone rain yourself. So yeah, I think we're just resolving a Surveil from Matt, and we've passed it back. Jethro's already drawn his card for turn.
We have a grist in hand.
Yeah, I think he's ticked up the Urza Saga up to 2. I see Grist, a snow-covered forest. We're going to attack for 4.
Should we have a construct?
No, that's only when you activate it. So it's still 2 mana to activate it.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting choice here. So you attack here. Matt's incentivized to block with the cat, and then you kind of want to kill it in response to the trigger.
So it transforms, then I'm going to cast Grist.
That's fine.
And down tick.
So
Sacrifice the Bowmasters to destroy it.
Grist's ability down to sacrifice a creature, destroy target creature or planeswalker. So allows it to flip and then kills it. Give you that
so
false sense of security that thing's actually going to survive, and then
yeah, so you
you
basically
cry.
got to kill Matt's board there by holding the information back. Matt leaves the Aether Vial on 3, so I think that is now permanently saved for the Nadu for when it's drawn. We play a Lush Portico, we Surveil, we leave it on top. And we've got 4 mana. We're going to cast a Birthing Pod, so
Painful.
Yes.
we are assembling quite a board here with the Birthing Pod.
Birthing Pod's pretty scary.
Yes. Get a mill a card. We get Tarmogoyf.
That's not meant to be in the bin, right? That's meant to be looking at the bin.
Yep. Interesting to see how many cards Matt has in his hand, because at this point, Ruthless Negotiator being flashback could be decent.
It should have been, but it's okay.
Yeah, so we missed the trigger on the Urza Saga there, but we're just gonna.
I guess Tarmogoyf might not have been revealed.
It's
Yeah,
good the Tarmogoyf specifically was hit.
I'm assuming you don't play.
yeah.
Would you like to take back?
I think if we should probably back that up.
Makes sense. You're
So the correct thing would be to put the Tarmogoyf back on top,
so that goes.
down tick the
This
Grist.
is on 1.
Yep.
This is on
Or you need to, before the down tick, there's a saga trigger, search for an
Yes.
artifact,
And what I'm going to do is tap
then
mana.
shuffle,
So this goes
and
to 3.
do the grist
Tap it for mana and
again.
this ability.
Yes, this is easily fixable.
Yeah,
so
this
there's
one's
not
this one's an easy one.
No, this is.
Oh no, after draw stuff. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah. Then we're good.
not much else has changed here.
Yeah, fortunately the sagas trigger after draw, so, which makes this
Yeah.
much easier.
Yeah, I think that was probably by design. Be very awkward. I imagine a lot of players missing that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be.
So is this just Skull Clamp again? Is that what?
I think so. I think Jethro just flashed their hand, and we saw the Phyrexian Furnace. It could be a Mox. I don't think I saw a land in hand, so
How
we
much
might want
mana
to get
is
grab a Mox.
Haywire Might?
I'm assuming this is exiled.
What's
Haywire
the-
Might is also one.
Yes, okay, that's what Matt's thinking there, is that Birthing Pod gets removed by a Haywire Might.
Yeah, there's no Haywire Might on the
Okay.
list, so we are just going to get a
Yeah, that's.
Mox Jet. Like I said, I think Jethro's missing a mana drop this turn. And being able to, like I say, maybe Ruthless Negotiator. I don't know if there's anything else worth doing in his hand.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's.
We do have a colourless mana floating off the Urza Saga, so let's hope we remember that.
Yeah, so we
that
don't have an
insect isn't
insect
there.
yet.
I'll be back soon.
No.
I agree. I foresee an insect in my future. Maybe 2.
Maybe. Would you like to play an insect?
I'll try.
Is there an insect in the deck? I wonder.
No. Okay.
I tried that grist a little bit, but it wasn't that hard, wasn't it? I'm going to
You frantically looking through the deck list to see if there's an
Yeah.
insect.
Grist gets a 2.
There is. Spring Heartland Tuco is an insect.
Solitude is not an insect, weirdly enough.
It's an elemental.
Green Suns for 3.
So we get a Green Suns for free here.
Oh, we can go and find the insect now.
We were gonna say that +4 is ruthless negotiation.
Yep. So yeah, Matt mentioned in the Ruthless Negotiation.
I think I love
Jethro thought about it, but with only one card in hand,
Get like sense of the nameless city. That's kind of all.
This is. I'm assuming this is going to be just artifact removal. Yeah, cool.
yeah,
destroy both of us.
yeah,
Cards insane.
you want to get rid of that whilst you can.
Who
With
needs?
Matt only having one card in hand,
Yeah, for sure.
The one that turns into an illusion.
And that's the point where Jethro must feel
It does.
much safer.
Yeah.
yeah,
Saved me in many a matchup.
And, well, one thing that definitely affects my creature choices is Green Sun Zenith, as we've
No,
just
no,
seen.
I'm with you on that one.
I'll get a combat.
Yeah.
Tap for 4.
so yeah, I imagine there's a lot of green creatures in the
Yeah.
deck for Greens and Zenith.
Just make sure that they have green
Have you exiled the
pips.
bottom card of your graveyard?
Yep. And we're gonna care about Graveyard Order again and exile the bottom card of the graveyard.
Fun, fun, fun.
Pass the turn back. We're gonna draw a card. 2 cards in hand. We're gonna tap 3. Maybe.
Just move our lands around.
Yeah. A nice little block from Limited there. Move your lands into different piles.
I love
Represent all the instants that can affect the board.
it. You know
and
how
just
much I
pass
do
the
that.
turn. Yep.
Well, here's a blue mana. I'm just going to leave this to the side. Tell you that I have a shore up without actually using any words.
Shifting Woodland.
So we're gonna uptick, get another instant. Miller Shifting Woodland, one of my favourite cards from MH3. A very strong land, that one.
Cast Dread Whispers.
So we're gonna cast the Adventure side to draw a card and lose a life.
Lovely bit of value there. Lovely bit of value.
We hit Lurus. Ooh. What's in the bin?
Dorothy Voidwalker.
Doesn't look like there's
Not
anything in the bin,
much.
actually. Yeah. There is an Orcish Bowmasters which you can cast. So we're going to attack in for 6 damage here.
I mean,
I will have you exile
this
the
is
bottom
a,
card of your
a
graveyard.
major advantage, Jethro, here.
Yes.
Cool. Go.
I think he's played
one
this
of-
really well, by the way. I think there's been a few moments where Jethro's just made a good decision.
Yeah. If there is a Shuko and a Nadu here, though, the advantage bar goes straight back to Matt.
That is the problem with playing against combo decks. They can
Yep.
just get there out of nowhere.
And Jethro hasn't played any sort of Fortseas in this game. He has played the Ruthless Negotiation, but that doesn't let you see the hand, so
What is
he
this?
is playing against Dick Blind.
Biophagus.
It's another Warhammer card. It's a 2-mana mana dork. When you tap it for any colour for a creature, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it.
Okay.
So I think the reason these are played is because they have more than 1 toughness now. A lot of decks don't like to play 1 toughness creatures.
It's not because it's a Tyrannid. Is that
I imagine
why?
not. I imagine not. Could be for the Wizard. Wizard is a relevant card type. Flame of Inors flying around, but no, neither of these decks.
Voidwalker and affect everything.
So we're attacking in with the team. Voidwalker can't be blocked because it's got Shadow. So 3 damage definitely getting in, so I think you have to block the army here to survive.
That Bowmasters was horrible.
Yep.
Not right now. Yay. But I am going to cast Kitchen Pig.
So Kitchen Fink's played.
I'll gain 2 up to 20. Go.
One of Jethro's pet cards.
Yeah.
Need a winner.
So I don't know. I think he's got Chord of Calling in hand, so I'm surprised it wasn't played last turn. But I don't know what you'd get if I'm honest with you.
Do you just rip something else, like get a grief or something like that? I don't know. What can Chord of Calling do again?
Chord of Calling just gets any creature where, so it's X green or green, and you put a green,
that's,
put a creature into play.
Not enough mana then to do.
But you
Enough.
do have Convoke, so at one point you could have done it for
Yes.
1.
It'll come back with a -1/-1 counter, and you can choose a new creature if you want.
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
Although, whether or not he'll die with Dorothy Voidwalker around.
He'll get exiled, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've topped it Phantasmal Image. So we're going to target the knight to gain some life, I imagine. Go up to 6. Passing the turn back. What are we going to hit?
Doesn't need to be much.
I think land does it, because you get to land, play Lurus, play Bowmasters ping. Make your army bigger.
I'll play Cycle of Plains.
And it is a land. Is that the line we're going to take? I know we're going to play the Warhammer card.
I'll exile that and mill you.
A Necron Deathmark.
So it's got a flash. It's an artifact creature. It's a 5/3. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to one target creature and target player mills 3 cards.
So ham, buddy.
That is much quicker and easier.
What I'm gonna do is
But it's not as fun as putting Loris into play.
I-
And we're going to attack him for lethal. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, Matt not able to get their combo off in this game. Jethro just using a lot of cards to 2-for-1 their opponent
These were really good against me.
to the point where it was over.
By the way, it upsets me that I haven't brought this up until now, but I love Matt's playmat. It's the playmat that I use for when I play Magic as well.
Top to Pi network.
Yep. Love it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, interesting match. I think there was some real blowouts there from Jethro,
get together with making an engine.
but yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, thank you so much for joining us again, Kieran, and for everybody watching. Really appreciate it. And until next time, bye.
Bye.